Welcome to this deep dive into the life and legacy of one of the most influential figures in psychedelic history, Dr. Alexander Sasha Shulgin. A brilliant chemist, a fearless explorer of consciousness, and the man behind the rediscovery of MDMA, Shulgin's work has shaped the world of psychopharmacology and continues to inspire researchers, psychonauts, and seekers alike. Sasha Shulgin was born on June 17, 1925, in Berkeley, California. A child prodigy with a deep curiosity for science, he attended Harvard University on a scholarship. However, after serving in the U.S. Navy during World War II, he returned to complete his Ph.D. in biochemistry at the University of California, Berkeley. His early work in chemistry, particularly in the field of pesticides, led him to a successful career at Dow Chemical. However, it was his first experience with mescaline in the 1950s that altered the trajectory of his life forever. Shulgin's mescaline experience was profound. It opened his eyes to the vast potential of psychedelics in expanding human consciousness. Leaving behind his work in conventional chemistry, he began exploring the effects of psychoactive compounds, eventually becoming an independent researcher with an insatiable curiosity for altered states of mind. Throughout the 1960s and 70s, he synthesized and tested hundreds of psychedelic compounds, meticulously documenting their effects. His most famous discovery? The rediscovery and refinement of MDMA, commonly known as ecstasy, which would later become one of the most influential psychoactive substances in modern history. One of the most fascinating aspects of Shulgin's story is his unusual relationship with the Drug Enforcement Administration, DEA. Recognizing his expertise in psychopharmacology, the DEA granted him a special license that allowed him to synthesize and experiment with otherwise illegal substances at his personal lab on his farm in Lafayette, California. For years, Shulgin maintained a working relationship with the agency, even training DEA agents in forensic drug analysis and providing them with insights into psychoactive substances. This arrangement allowed him to conduct groundbreaking research in an environment relatively free from government interference. However, this fragile understanding would not last forever. Although MDMA was originally synthesized in 1912 by Merck Pharmaceuticals, it was largely forgotten until Shulgin reintroduced it to the scientific community in the 1970s. He recognized its potential for psychotherapy, describing its ability to enhance empathy, emotional openness, and introspection. He introduced MDMA to psychotherapists who began using it as a therapeutic tool to help patients with PTSD, depression, and anxiety. However, its rise in recreational use led to legal crackdowns, and by 1985, the U.S. government classified MDMA as a Schedule I substance, halting its legal use in therapy. Sasha and his wife, Anne Shulgin, shared a passion for exploring and documenting psychedelics. Together, they co-wrote Pickle and Tickle, two books that not only detailed Shulgin's research, but also told a deeply personal story of their life together. Pickle and Tickle became essential reading for chemists, researchers, and psychonauts, providing a roadmap for future psychedelic exploration. Shulgin's openness about his work made him a controversial figure, but his dedication to scientific knowledge and consciousness expansion was unwavering. Despite his contributions, Shulgin's open sharing of his research and his publication of Pickle, Phenethylamines I Have Known and Loved, and Tickle, Tryptamines I Have Known and Loved, drew increasing scrutiny from authorities. These books not only chronicled his experiences with psychedelics, but also provided detailed chemical recipes for hundreds of compounds, making them a controversial addition to the psychedelic landscape. In 1994, the DEA raided Shulgin's laboratory, citing regulatory violations related to his research license. The agency fined him $25,000 and revoked his Schedule I license, effectively putting an end to his ability to legally conduct his work. While the official reasoning was tied to technical violations, many believe the real motive was a growing fear that his work was inspiring underground chemists and fueling the rise of novel psychoactive substances. Despite this setback, Shulgin remained a vocal advocate for responsible psychedelic research, continuing to write and educate others on the potential benefits of these compounds. Shulgin continued his work into his later years, advocating for the responsible study of psychedelics. His work laid the foundation for today's psychedelic renaissance, with research institutions now exploring MDMA, psilocybin, and other substances for their therapeutic potential. He passed away on June 2, 2014, at the age of 88, leaving behind a legacy that continues to inspire generations of scientists, therapists, and explorers of the mind. Sasha Shulgin was more than just a chemist. He was a pioneer of the mind, a visionary who saw beyond the limitations of traditional science. His contributions to psychedelic chemistry have shaped modern understanding and research, paving the way for a new era of consciousness exploration. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Shulgin's life, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments which psychedelic pioneers you'd like us to cover next. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and stay curious.